Hello, my name is Nazar Bryant. Today I will explain why police officers being in the school environment to create a disciplinary, structural, educational place has a negative effect on students' education and mental development in school. In the United States, there are over 20,000 police officers working within the schools. Across America, many schools have turned their form of security into a police-based environment, meaning there are less security guards and staff and more policing. According to my research, police in schools have been one of the major downsides to a productive environment for education. Coming from a public suburban school where there are more security guards and police officers, I found it to be more hostile and a sterner environment at times, more felt as it's a disciplinary environment rather than educational. Many schools across the U.S. do not need these strong disciplinary environments and need more of an understanding environment. I believe you cannot teach nor receive instruction when the environment you are in is set up to set you behind. First, I'll begin with how teenagers are at a greater risk of being arrested at schools due to having police officers there. According to my research, if a student gets in a fight, talks back, or gets in an altercation with a police officer, they are more subjected to being suspended due to strict disciplinary actions from police officers. In the New York Times, it says that a 14-year-old girl named Paleo got into a school fight and was dragged and arrested by police officers. She hated she stated that she felt ashamed and embarrassed to be in school again because everyone saw what happened. And the website www.newyorktimes 2013 0412 Education with Police in Schools, More Children in Court. In black and brown communities, there has been a surge of arrests and misdemeanor charges for essentially nonviolent behaviors. This includes scuffles, cursing with resulted in children being in court. There have been over 100,000 misdemeanor tickets every school year. This is too far for children to receive these disciplinary actions. Police are more predominant in black and brown communities. I know that these disciplinary actions have not been taken place in majority white communities. As stated before, children are at a much greater risk when it comes to having police officers in school. According to my research, police are very violent with these children. Within the schools, police officers' takedown tactics are being physical when it comes to policing with children in school. www.newyorktimes 2015 1029 police officers in school says that the district in Kentucky was sued for putting cuffs on an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old. This is totally unacceptable. There are many schools across America that believe these disciplinary actions are necessary for the growth of an educational environment when it isn't. Next, I'll dive into the criminalization of children due to early policing in school. According to the Progressive Cynic 2012-1025, the criminalization of student behavior, two 8-year-olds in New Jersey were arrested and charged for terrorist threats when they used paper guns during a game of cops and robbers. In the HuffPost.com School to Prison, black children are already more likely to, to get arrested at school. In 2012, black children represented only 16% of school-aged children, but 31% of them were arrested. Within the educational environment, this is something you would not like to see. Knowing that children are being arrested for minor to no offenses at all is dangerous for their future, and for these schools using these disciplinary actions to maintain educational environment, this only hurts the child. As I said before, this is mostly prevalent in black and brown communities. With black kids being only 16 to 20% of the school, 31% of them are arrested for little to nothing at all. There are several ways police officers in school take away from educational growth for children. Finally, one of the biggest cons of having police in school is children becoming less educated. Education is the most vital reason as to why children are enrolled in school. However, studies show that schools have more police officers have having more police officers are less likely to graduate. According to chalkbeat.org 2020 62321 police school researchers, the Texas newspaper showed that when a middle school or a high schooler hired more police officers, the students were 1.7 percentage points less likely to graduate high school compared to similar students in the same district of those years without police officers. More police also lead to lower college enrollment rates. To dive in even deeper, Black students are more likely to get expelled or arrested than white folks. www.vox.com 2015 224 Schools Discipline and Race. It says that black students are 3 times more likely to be suspended or expelled than white students, according to the Education Development Department's Office of Civil Rights. And research in Texas found that students have been suspended are more likely to get held back a grade and dropped out of school early. These could be vital reasons as to why children are very unsuccessful in the educational field. In conclusion, police officers should not be in an educational setting such as school. There are many reasons as to why police officers are one of the top factors and why students perform poorly and are introduced to early criminal activity at a young age. I hope that you all understand that the need for police officers to be in school is not needed. Parents send their children to school to develop them in their academic background so that they are ready to handle the real world, not to be suspended, forcefully apprehended, and introduced to early criminal records and activity. The use of police in school is not needed because it takes away from the educational, successful potential of children in school. This is not what we want for our homes, schools, nor do we want this for our country. Thank you.